here in Turkey, people have been celebrating the 3-day Ramadan holiday known in Turkish, or known as Bayram or Eid al-Fitr in Arabic, Bayram in Turkish, of course. It began on Sunday and marks the end of fasting for Muslims during the holy month of Ramadan. Now, Turks also call this period Şeker Bayramı, or holiday of sweets, because of the tradition of offering candy to their guests. You'll hear the greeting İyi Bayramlar a lot during this time, and to explain what that greeting means and also tell us about the Turkish way of celebrating Bayram from Ottoman times to modern Turkey, we're joined now by Isil Acehan, who is a visiting scholar at George Mason University in the U.S. Thanks so much for speaking to us. I mean, how much really have Bayram celebrations actually changed over the decades and even the centuries, you know, from Ottoman times until now? Does a lot actually remain the same at the core?
Actually, Bayram celebrations were very important in the Ottoman Empire. And for the first time, Mehmet the Conqueror, after conquering Constantinople, he started celebrating the Bayrams. And, you know, the Ottoman Empire was a state of protocols. So even in the Code of Law, in the Ottoman Code of Law, it was embedded, and how to celebrate the Bayrams, the Eids at the Ottoman court. And it was a very sacred and important religious holiday. And maybe I can also explain why we use Bayram, although the Arabic word uses Eid. Actually, Bayram, the word Bayram comes from Farsi, and it means happiness and serenity and celebration. So that's how we value the Bayram, because it's a time of celebrating and eating candies and sweets. And so we have to pass the Bayram in a sweet way. Okay. So they're old.
It is, I mean, it is a happy time. It's a happy holiday.
Exactly.
It's very much celebrated throughout Turkey. But, you know, when we talk a little bit about how it's changed over the decades and even the centuries, I've heard some Turks kind of complain it used to be a holiday and a time that was really only about sharing with people and sharing with family. And more recently, it became the Bayram holiday, as in taking holiday, going on vacation, maybe leaving the family behind and just escaping. What do you think?
Exactly. You know, when I was a kid, I was born and raised in Kayseri. And then I remember that we had never had vacations during the time of Bayram, because it was a time to visit our family and our, you know, grandmas, grandfathers, and, celebrating the Bayrams together. But now I can see that even my nephews, they don't, understand what the real, value of Bayrams are. They just want to have some pocket money and then want to go on vacation or buy something from the, malls, etc. So even, in like 20, 30 years, the meaning of Bayram changed a lot.
Right. I guess it's not too different from what we've seen in other parts of the world. You know, with the Christmas holiday, for example, being very much commercialized, let's put it that way. It's just kind of a sign of the times around the world. But let me ask you this. I mean, with Christians and Jews also a part of Turkey's population, Bayram is also kind of a period of festivities for non-Muslims too in Turkey.
Exactly. You know, the Ottoman Empire was composed of many different ethnic and religious societies. So they have developed a common understanding of celebrations for the religious holidays over the decades and over the centuries. So Bayram, the Muslim holidays, Ramadan, and also Kurban, which is Eid al-Adha, were celebrated by the other religious communities, and also like Jews and Christians when there were, for example, the Easter time or Passover for the Jews. So it was also celebrated. So they developed actually over the decades, it became like a cultural celebration, not a religious. So you can see all these mix-ups in the Ottoman Empire.
Okay, Isil Acehan, and I apologize for mispronouncing your name at the beginning there. It's Isil Acehan. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And
thanks so much, you too. İyi bayramlar. Thanks so much.